The Chiefs just got it done in the frozen fishbowl, proving to everyone who paid for a Peacock subscription at least why they not only deserve to be in the playoffs, but also why they are going to be a tough team to go against if the offense can keep playing like they did last night. I mean, we all know the defense is the real deal regardless, as is the leg of Harrison Balls of Steel Butker. But if the Chiefs offense keeps looking like this, it's a wrap. So let's dive into this game recap full of interesting stats and key takeaways as KC gets ready for the divisional round next week. But first, how about those? First off, I knew the Chiefs defense was going to have an absolute heyday when Chiefs legend Tamba Hali was the drum honoree to get the fourth coldest NFL game in history started. That's right. Kickoff started out at -4 degrees, the fourth coldest start to a game in history, with the third coldest wind chill at -27. It was so cold, visors were fogging up. Tua couldn't throw a pass farther than 5 yards. Sort of joking about that. Andy Reid's mustache literally froze. Sorry, wrong photo, but they are definitely related. And Mahomes' helmet actually shattered as he went for a scramble trying to get into the end zone. However, Chiefs Kingdom still showed up and showed out at Arrowhead and tried their best to stay warm as they cheered on playoff Pat and company, and the Chiefs did not disappoint to start this game. The Dolphins won the toss and deferred, giving the Chiefs offense the first shot with the ball. And before we get to the opening drive, I just want to say that this freezing cold weather made for some very interesting kickoffs. All game long, kicks were short, bouncing along the ground, and the Dolphins tried to return almost all of them. It was definitely one of the oddest parts of this game, to me at least. And this was a game I thought the Chiefs would be running way more than usual due to the extreme cold, and also due to the fact that the Dolphins D-line was pretty depleted and filled with newly signed additions like Bruce Irvin, Justin Houston, and Melvin Ingram. But no, they decided to throw 3 straight times to start things out, with Kelce and Rice being targeted and missed, but Kelce caught a key first down pass shortly after on this first 3rd and 10, which was the last third down the Chiefs saw on this drive, because it was Isaiah Ice Pop Pacheco's time to get things going, having a couple solid runs, one for 11, and then another big run for 23, which electrified the crowd at Arrowhead. Then the rookie Rashee Rice, who had himself a day, caught this 11-yard pass on a shallow crosser and took it to the house for the first score of the game, with the opening drive for KC featuring 9 plays, 69 yards, and a touchdown in just under 4 minutes. The frozen fish then quickly went 3 and out because George Karlaftis would not be denied on 1st and 2nd down. Then a false start on 3rd down moved Miami back 5, and a screen pass to Jeff Wilson Jr. kept them well short. It was then Mahomes and company's turn to go 3 and out after Mahomes took a deep shot to Hardman on 3rd and 6 that was either affected a bit by the wind, McColl lost it in the lights, Mahomes slightly underthrew it, or a bit of all three. I have no idea, but this was not the last time McColl got separation downfield, and certainly wasn't the last time they were unable to connect on a deep pass. I will say though, I liked the fact that McColl, in spite of his flaws, did indeed see an uptick in snaps, probably partially due to Kadarius Toney once again not being able to play. And I also liked the fact that McColl only had 5 less snaps than MVS, who caught 1 pass for 8 yards. A pass, though, that did cause Arrowhead to erupt because he caught a pass. But moving MVS down the snap count list like this, with Justin Watson playing the 2nd most wide receiver snaps behind Rice, is probably the way to go. Anyway, after the Chiefs 3 and out, the Dolphins were able to start moving a bit, getting a couple first downs via a short run and a rare Tua scramble. He had the 2nd most rushing yards on his team, I believe. Then on 3rd and 5, Tua threw a costly INT way over the head of Jalen Waddle, and the ball went right into the awaiting arms of Mike Edwards, the ball hawk himself. Tip of the cap to Charles Omenihu as well, who drove his defender back nearly into Tua, which probably affected his throw a bit also. Then Rashee Rice got involved once again as Mahomes had a perfectly clean pocket, literally having enough time to make a fire and warm his hands before finding him. Pacheco then had a solid run before Travis Kelce had a tough, wide open drop, but on 3rd and 7, Rashee Rice got just enough for a first down that was overturned by a successful Chiefs challenge. A couple plays later on 3rd and 6, Mahomes had to pick up a super low snap and played it safe, throwing the ball away, and the first of 4 Harrison Butker field goals followed. This next drive for the Dolphins was a rather quick one, which featured back-to-back throws to Tyreek Hill, the first for 9 yards, but the second 53 yards for a touchdown. It was honestly a great play design that put Tyreek in motion to the right, away from Sneed, and with him still in motion behind the line of scrimmage, ball was snapped, and he took off downfield, besting Trent McDuffie, which doesn't happen too often. And honestly, this touchdown is all Tyreek here because the throw by Tua was not really that good, but Tyreek's ball tracking skills are indeed that good. So he not only went back for the ball, but caught it and made a nice move to juke Mike Edwards for the score. And this is where I was like, it's going to be like this tonight, isn't it? Well, thankfully, it was not, because the defense wouldn't let anything like that happen again for the rest of the entire game. So with the score now 10-7, the Chiefs offense showed that the earlier drives were not a fluke either, once again matriculating the ball down the field thanks to a huge 23-yard connect to Travis Kelce. Then MVS caught that one and only pass for 8 yards on 3rd and 3, moving the chains. Then the next third down, the Dolphins shut down a McCole Hardman jet sweep, setting up this weird 4th and 4 sort of in no man's land due to the cold weather. So KC went for it, and Mahomes didn't like his options and decided to run for the first himself, going up the right sideline for 28 yards. Shortly after that, Rashee Rice then got his second touchdown pass of the game thanks to some great blocking by Kelce and Trey Smith and Rice's quick speed, but not so fast because yet another flag was thrown on Jawaan Taylor, and that negated the touchdown, moving them back 10 yards instead. Of course, I was pissed, as Jawaan Taylor is the most flagged player in the entire league, with nobody being flagged more than him in a single season since 2015, which is insane. And while he was flagged for a block in the back here, the replay showed Taylor himself was actually shoved in the back, which caused him to fall into Justin Houston, and therefore many were not happy with the flag being thrown on Jawaan there and thought the Rice touchdown should have stayed. But alas, not every call will go your team's way, even though thousands and thousands of the mentally malnourished think all the calls somehow go the Chiefs' way. Freaking dum-dums. And therefore, the Chiefs had to settle for a field goal, even though Justin Watson had a great catch on 2nd down, because the 3rd down pass was batted down at the line. Miami then was held up by the Chiefs defense on 3rd down thanks to a Mostert drop. Appreciate it, man. They opted to go for it on 4th and 2, and Charles Omenihu showed up huge on this play as the Chiefs only rushed 2. Yeah, they rushed 2, dropped the spy, yet Omenihu still almost sacked Tua, pressuring him and getting an arm on him as he threw, which affected the timing and placement of the throw. And while McDuffie had great coverage on this at the end, Omenihu made yet another clutch play that doesn't really show up in some highlights or on the stat sheet. And after that turnover on downs, both teams proceeded to play ping pong on back-to-back 3-and-out punts. KC couldn't get their 1st down on 3rd and 3 due to another missed deep shot to McCole Hardman. And the weirdest thing about this play to me is, while I think it was a penalty on the Dolphins there, should have been flagged, it was odd to see McCole just give up on the play mid-route, arms out wide looking at the ref, and didn't even attempt to make a play on the ball there. I mean, I wonder if that could have affected the ref not throwing the flag there, whether right or wrong of him not to do so in that moment, but it's still pretty crazy that he just gives up mid-route with the ball landing in an area that Hardman still could have attempted to make a play on at the very least. Nonetheless, Tyreek Hill was swallowed up by the Chiefs D on this 2nd down. Then Sneed proceeded to get Hill to flinch on the line on 3rd and 8 that set up a 3rd and 13. And after Tua bobbled the snap, which threw off the timing, George Karlaftis got to Tua for a sack, a clutch stop by the Chiefs defense here. And if we look at Sneed on this very same play, he could be seen burying Tyreek into the frozen field. I mean, Sneed straight up bodied Tyreek on this play, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching. In fact, show another replay. And on the subject of the most slept on cornerback in the entire NFL, Sneed, who didn't make the Pro Bowl nor 1st or 2nd team All-Pro, this is a perfect segue into the sponsor of today's video, Bear Mattress, because they can sleep on Sneed all they want, but you can upgrade your sleep for the year 2024. And not only are they the longest active sponsor of the channel, but they offer new premium fiberglass free mattresses customized to the way you sleep and shipped right to your front door. They are currently running their New Year sale, so head over to bearmattress.com/HBTC HBTC to kick off the new year with your best night of sleep yet. I've personally been using their mattress for over a year now, and not only have I been sleeping fantastic, but we love it so much that we are getting one for our kids as well. Bear knows that everybody has different preferences in sleep positions, which is why there's an online quiz you can take to help remove all the guesswork, and that's what me and my wife did. I sleep on my back and prefer a medium firmness to my mattress, but my wife sleeps on her stomach and prefers one that's more firm, and that's why Bear matched us up with the Elite Hybrid mattress to benefit us both. Then, after placing the order, they shipped it right to our front door, which allowed us to throw out our old one, good riddance, and then easily unroll and set up our new one, which instantly upgraded our sleep quality. And if you sleep hot, Bear's sleep recovery technology uses a Celliant-powered fabric to help you stay cool throughout the night, and all mattresses are Green Guard Gold certified, Certi Pure US certified, and EcoFlex fiberglass free. Trust me, it's as safe and reliable as a Mahomes to Kelsey touchdown in the red zone. And just like in my experience, Bear delivers a mattress right to your front door in a box with free shipping in the US and is super easy to set up yourself. These mattresses also come with a lifetime warranty, and they even offer financing options and flexible payment plans, as well as a 120-night sleep trial, which gives you more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. Basically, a great night's sleep is never, ever, ever far away. I certainly love my quality of sleep with Bear Mattress, and I think you will too. So, if you're looking to upgrade your sleep, just go to bearmattress.com/HBTC for 35% off a Bear Mattress for a limited time during their New Year's sale. All right, KC then had one more opportunity before halftime to get points on the board, and with one timeout and under 2 minutes to go, they did just that, going 7 plays for 47 yards thanks to Rashee Rice on a crucial 3rd and 10. Mahomes had pressure bearing down on him, and Rice plucked the ball out of the air and turned upfield for 39 yards. Sadly though, KC wasn't able to get into the end zone here, but Harrison Butker was able to kick his 3rd field goal of the night, nailing a 32-yarder, which brought the score to Chiefs 16, Dolphins 7 at halftime. Miami then started out with the ball in the second half, yet quickly went 3 and out thanks to Charles Omenihu forcing Tua out of the pocket and Nick Bolton making sure a scrambling Tagovailoa did not get the first down. The Chiefs, on the other hand, proceeded to once again march down the field thanks to an incredible back shoulder catch by tight end Noah Gray. I mean, shoot. How about more passes thrown Gray's way, please, and thank you, I like that. Kelsey then caught a pass and landed on top of a Dolphins defender. And not only did he not touch the ground, he was able to then jump up and get the first down, which was pretty crazy. A couple plays after this, Rashee Rice gave us a scare after catching this pass as he was slow to get up, going down to one knee after, but Rice said after the game, he just tweaked his ankle, but he's all good now, and he returned to finish the game, so hopefully he is indeed good. CEH then had a solid run due in part to the entire team pushing him along, and on 2nd and 6, Mahomes had another clutch scramble down the right sideline, making a move inside to get more yards before getting tackled at the 3-yard line. And the crazy part of this play was Mahomes' helmet literally got cracked upon contact, which I think was more due to the extreme cold than anything else, but you can see this photo here showing it, which is wild. Nice snag by the photographer. Shortly after that, Mahomes had to swap helmets and had trouble even getting his backup helmet on because it was actually frozen. Anyway, even though Mahomes got them to the 3, KC was unable to get in the end zone again, with Harrison Butker hitting his 4th field goal of the game, bringing the Chiefs up to 19 points, with the Dolphins having 7, and with that field goal, that made for a new franchise record for the most field goals in a postseason game. 4. In fact, Butker has been so clutch that he could have beaten the Bengals in Week 17 and the Dolphins on field goals alone, making 6 against Cincy and 4 against Miami. The Dolphins then were able to convert a key 4th and inches on the next drive, trying with difficulty to move up the field and make something happen. However, Karlaftis and Chris Jones got to Tua on 2nd down, and Achane was stopped well short on 3rd and 14, which resulted in yet another Dolphins punt. KC then basically had the kill shot on this drive thanks to a Justin Watson first down, a Richie James snag on 3rd and 5 for another first, an incredible Rice snag for 28 yards, a roughing the passer call on Mahomes when facing 3rd and 20, and a crucial CEH first down after a very hard-fought second effort, which brought them pretty close to the goal line. Pacheco then took the direct snap and wildcat, faking the pitch to Mahomes as he spun around and took it in himself for the last score of the game, which put the score up to 26-7 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth. And while the next two drives seemed to build some momentum for them at times, the result of both of these next drives by the Dolphins was back-to-back turnover on downs, getting shut down time and time again when it mattered, with no real answers against this very real KC defense. Sneed almost had an incredible INT in the end zone. Spags was dialing up blitzes time and time again. Tua was flustered. Tyreek got absolutely leveled on this play here by McDuffie. And even though CEH had an unfortunate fumble near the end of the game, it was too little, too late, and the frozen fish were sent packing like sardines to thaw out in Miami or maybe even Cancun to watch the rest of the playoffs. I mean, what a game on all phases of the ball from the Kansas City Chiefs. First off, the defense held the Dolphins to 1 for 12 on third downs, and no, that is not a typo. On top of that, they got lots of pressure on Tua, sacking him twice. Didn't allow Miami to get into the red zone a single time and completely shut down their run game. Their leading rusher was Raheem Mostert with 8 carries for 33 yards. Achane had 6 carries for just 9 yards. Then Tyreek Hill was the leading receiver, catching 5 for 62 yards and a touchdown, which means outside of that one 53-yard score he had, he was held to 4 catches for just 9 yards. Waddle was basically non-existent, and again, the Dolphins were held to just 7 points. This was the number 2 scoring offense in the NFL during the regular season, and they put up just 7, scoring on 1 drive of their 11 total. The defense as a whole for Kansas City played so well that it's basically impossible to give a game ball to one single person. Nick Bolton was everywhere, leading the team in tackles. Karlaftis racked up a sack and a half on 3 QB hits. Chris Jones had a couple of QB hits himself and a sack and a half. Then Sneed allowed just 3 catches for 29 yards on 9 targets, with the entire secondary basically clamping everyone down all game long outside of that one nice play by Tyreek. Then on offense, Mahomes was 23 for 41, racking up 262 yards and a touchdown. Pacheco carried the ball 24 times for 89 yards and a score, with Mahomes behind him running twice for 41 yards. And while CEH only racked up 21 yards on 7 carries, he had a few very hard fought for second effort plays that made me pretty happy overall with his limited performance. Then Rashee Rice. Man, oh man, he not only had a new personal record for him in this game, but the most receiving yards by any rookie in a playoff game since 2016. Then, even though Kelce had a few drops, he still had 7 catches for 71 yards that I believe was helped in part to Mecole Hardman taking the top off the defense. I know he didn't connect on any of those deep balls, but he gave a legitimate cause for concern downfield that opened things up in the middle of the field at times for both Rashee Rice as well as Travis Kelce. Then, for what it's worth, considering Miami's D-line was pretty banged up, the Chiefs' offensive line looked awesome out there, giving Mahomes plenty of time to go through his reads, and boy was I glad left tackle Donovan Smith was able to play in his first game in like 5 weeks, because the rookie Wanya Morris was ruled out due to still being in concussion protocol. And while the Chiefs had to once again rely heavily on Harrison Butker, the MVP of the Chiefs season, in my opinion, I've been saying this, if the Chiefs can manage 25 points in a game, regardless of how they get those points, KC is going to be a tough team to beat because their defense is just that good. They do need to work on their red zone execution on offense, I know, but they would have been 3 for 6 down there if Juwan wasn't flagged for that block in the back. So I'm going to take it, giving props to what I think was the best performance from the Chiefs offense in quite a while. They put up 409 total yards on offense, were 6 for 15 on third downs in the freezing cold, and were able to limit some miscues, penalties, and turnovers. CEH had a tough one at the end, but that was well within garbage time, so it's all good. Just don't do it next game, please. And if KC can keep this up, playing a cleaner game with very few turnovers, less miscues, and a couple less penalties, I think the Chiefs can beat just about anyone and even have a good chance at winning the Super Bowl if they can put up about 25 points and let the defense do their thing without having multiple short fields to defend. And with all that being said, do you guys agree that this is the best offensive performance you've seen from KC in quite some time? And if so, do you think they're getting hot at just the right time as they head into the divisional round to face off against either the Texans at Arrowhead or the Bills in Buffalo, depending on how this Bills and Steelers game plays out on Monday? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, let me know your key takeaways from this game, as well as who you would rather see the Chiefs play next week between the Bills and the Texans, along with your reasons why. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?